How's it going, people? Welcome back to another opposition preview. We are here for the big game Tuesday, tomorrow evening. Arsenal versus Real Madrid, people. Champions League night, the business end of the Champions League, knockouts, quarterfinals. We've got a very special guest. We're joined by Doris from Let's Be Real podcast. Doris, thank
Hello,
you very
everyone.
much for coming on today. And how you doing? How you been keeping?
Yeah, my pleasure. I've not been keeping well. My team is currently causing us a lot of stress. But in my life, I'm pretty good. The team,
Amazing.
not so much. So,
Amazing. Likewise, I could say the same with Arsenal this season as well. It's been
mm,
very stressful. Similar to you guys as well, losing out to the league title yet again to this time Liverpool. But this is all we
yes.
got left, and I think we should start there for your guys' perspective because I did watch a bit of your game against Valencia. Very disappointing
Uh,
performance. I know I don't want. I know I don't want.
ooh.
Obviously, you don't want to go back there because how disappointing it is, but overall thoughts on your season so far. Is the La Liga done for you guys now? Is it Barcelona's?
Well, it's kind of a difficult question because just when we thought, it's absolutely over, there's no chance of coming back from this. Barcelona go and they have a draw against Betis.
Yeah,
So,
Betis. Yeah,
what do you think at this point of the season? Like, there's not that many games to play. It's very unlikely that Barcelona will have a hiccup again, like very unlikely. I really don't think it will happen, and I think that Valencia game basically lost us the league. No matter that Barcelona didn't have a win either, I doubt that they will lose until the rest of the season. But I'm not so confident that we won't.
yeah. I mean, when you look, obviously, overall in your season, with Carlo as well as a manager,
Mhm.
like I know there's a lot of talk of him maybe moving on at the end of the season. What's the whole Madrid fan base sort of looking at Ancelotti as a manager this season? Like, is he like, do they want him out because of you guys have obviously lost the league title, or is this what he's got left now is Champions League this season for you guys to win it?
Now that's the thing with Ancelotti. Ever since he's come here, people have said that he's not good enough, and then out of nowhere he just wins something.
Yeah,
So it's like in honestly, I cannot say what should happen to him at the end of the season because you actually don't know. We might pull it through. It wouldn't be the first time that we did. A lot of fans think that it's time to move anyway, make time and space, for Xabi Alonso.
yes,
Some fans are not so sure about it because if it's time now, if Alonso is even ready for such a big move, for such immediately playing Champions League like full on, you're supposed to go to the final, win the whole thing. Like it's a big leap. But at the same time, Ancelotti has been disappointing fans on an entertainment level, if anything else. Uh, it's
yeah.
really difficult to watch that kind of football week in, week out.
So
Because what you saw against Valencia is every
yeah,
single game we just win
wow.
at the end somehow. We
So
almost
you play like
always
that every
play like
single
that.
game. You just
Almost
you
every
scrape
single game
in terms
this
of win.
season. Yeah, it's been
Wow.
horrible. We just
Even
managed to pull a win. That's the thing.
even with when I look into your squad of the players that you've got and the depth
Hmm.
that you've got, and even Ancelotti as a manager as well, what is wrong with you guys? I'm looking at Mbappe's, I'm looking at Vinny Juniors, Rodrigo's, you got Bellingham, you got Valverde. These types of
Hmm.
players, you'd think that you guys would be performances will be a lot what you're seeing. So like,
You would think, yeah.
what is it that you put it down to for poor performances this season then, or is it a mixture of things? Would you say?
It's a mixture of things, absolutely. A lot of fans blame, purely Ancelotti on this for not rotating players. Some blame the board for not signing absolutely any defenders when we knew from previous seasons that Militao, Alaba, could not be there. They got injured. Alaba, before he got injured, was in like really bad form. He just came back and scored
Yeah.
two own goals. you know.
Wow.
And currently, there's not much space for him in the squad. You know, even if in the left back position that Ancelotti is trying to play him, because in the defense he's not good, and he's good with crosses, but we don't have players that can, capitalize on crosses like that. We don't have Ronaldo, Bale or Benzema, Raul,
Yeah.
anyone, Now we have Vinicius, Rodrigo, Brahim, all short players. So it's a mixture of things that got combined this season where things are just not working out. And then you have the injuries, like so many injuries, especially in our back line. Carvajal, who was in amazing form, injured. We really, really miss him this season. We've been suffering a lot because of it.
Yeah, most definitely. So when you obviously you look into this game tomorrow night, just firstly before we talk about the game itself, when you obviously beat Atleti and you knew you was playing Arsenal in the quarterfinals, right? What was your initial reaction from Madrid fans? Was it like, is there a sense of respect for Arsenal, or is it like, you is there fear when you play Arsenal, or is it like, you're very confident coming into this game?
So if you asked me this in any other season than this one, I would have been, pretty confident, we can pull this through. We've been through more difficult games in my opinion, City, Liverpool, like at the peak of their, we still won. Uh for Arsenal, we play one time, you guys won
Yes,
in the
2006,
Champions League.
Henri. Yeah.
Yeah. It was only 1-0 over two games, so it's not like you guys,
Yeah,
demolished
true.
us, but at the same time, for this season, since we've been so bad, like from the start of the season, and still somehow managed to be at the top for a while, somehow, no one knows how, magic. Uh, um, this season I'm a lot more scared than I would be usually. Like this season, I'm with the performances I've seen previously this season. I'm not as confident as I would be, especially after the last game. What was that? That was
Mm.
embarrassment, absolute embarrassment. And even the Sociedad game, we conceded four
Four
goals
goals, yeah.
at home.
So you look into your squad obviously this season from Arsenal's perspective. What's like would in terms of weaknesses from your squad? Is it more your defensive leaking goals, or is it more scoring the goals from your attack? Because I look at your attack and on paper, like look, you got unbelievable players, right? But are they really, doing what they're supposed? Are they really getting to the potential that they really should be in that sense, or is it more you look at defensively, like you leak too many goals, and I know you've had injuries there with obviously Militao. You've had to play obviously Alaba. As you said, they just recently came back from injury. I think Mendy's out. Your left back, he's out injured now as well. So when you look at your squad, what's some of your weaknesses? Would you say this season?
Our weaknesses, I would say, since our defense has been awful and we played a lot of players out of position in the defense, mainly Chouameni
Yep.
playing as a center back, it did like a domino effect on our team because it pulled players back. A lot of players needed to, compensate for our horrible defense, which didn't necessarily, result in a lot of offense, and domination, and that's basically how it's been this entire season. Even with Chouameni, when he wasn't playing as center back, is still something that we saw a lot this season. A lot of, losing position, in the middle of the field, tracking back, non-existent. Vinicius jogging. Like there's been so many things not
Mm.
going well this season, and still somehow we're here. I don't know how, but performance-wise, energy vibes, everything, just not this season. I say, all of it is a weakness because it's not like our offense with Vinicius, Rodrigo, Mbappe, score like 4 or 5 goals to compensate for the defense. There's a lot of games that are like 1-0, 2-1, like low scoring games. It's not
Yeah.
like our defense concedes 4 goals all the time, but we don't score 4 goals all
Mm,
the time. That's the thing. Because
mm.
I think both of those things are a problem right now.
Wow, there we go. I mean, that's good news for us, I would say. But at the same time, we're having similar issues. We struggle with injuries a lot this season. I'm sure you saw Gabriel, our main
Yeah,
centre back, out for the whole season,
hamstring.
be missing the game. So we're gonna have to play our backup, which is key viewer most likely, who's not at Gabriel's level. So it kind of rise me up against Mbappe's and Vinny Juniors. And it's the same for us in the attack. We're thankful to have one of our best attackers, Saka, back for this game as well. But we're having to play Mikel Marino as a striker. And I don't know if you remember how good he was at Sociedad, and if he was even good at Sociedad. If you saw him there, Mikel Marino.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The thing with Sociedad is that any game that you watch from us, it's us suffering. So it just turns into basically every game being the same. And Mikel Merino was just, one of the ocean of players, terrorizing our defense. But I'm
Yes,
I'm glad for him that he stepped up, and went to a
he has been as a
respectable
striker.
club,
Yeah.
for his career.
When he first came into Arsenal, there was a lot of doubt around him in terms of can he adapt to the Premier League,
Hmm.
how fast paced the league is, right, as a midfielder. And he struggled in the first couple of games, but now he's been as a striker. He scored, I think, 7 goals for Arsenal, and that's all you can ask this guy. So, listen, I think he proved for Spain in the Euros as well that he can come in those moments in the clutch. You saw him against Germany, right?
Hmm.
Off the bench and he scored against them. And then I think he did it in Nations League for Spain. So he did it for Arsenal as well this season a few times. Very clutch player. So but yeah, we've had some real big issues in the attack. And overall performance level as well. We've been so boring to watch. I don't know if it's the same for
But
you guys,
Saka is
right?
back, right? And
Saka,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
you
he's
guys
back.
caught us at the best time ever. This is a really good
Wow.
chance
Really good time to play
for
Madrid,
you
right?
guys. Yeah, I mean, if any time, maybe not with Benzema Ballon d'Or or last season, but this
Yeah.
season with the amount of things that went wrong, I think this is
But
your best chance yet.
don't you think, because I watched a few of you guys last season when you won the competition, right? Again,
Hmm.
obviously, like 15 times is congratulations. We've still not won it yet at all, to be honest. We won zero, but, hopefully one day for us. But
Let's hope.
yeah, but last season, I remember some of the games you played. I think you played Leipzig in the last 16. I watched both the legs, and Leipzig played very well, I thought. They had chances there,
Hmm.
but you always seem to, especially the Champions League, you always seem to find a way in to get something out of the game, and that's what rises me the most. I'd never underestimate you guys because I remember the game against Man City, right? Not this season, maybe 2-3 years ago, where they went. Do you remember when they second leg they scored that goal from I think maybe Riyad Mahrez, and there was like
Yeah.
a 1% chance Madrid will go through, right?
Yes, he
And
scored in
then
like the 70th.
what was it? Rodrigo and Benzema happened, right?
Oh,
And you
oh,
guys
mm, 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 mm,
unbelievable moment. And
mm,
when I
mm.
watched that game, I was like, wow, Madrid in this competition, different class, yeah. And I
Yeah,
even saw it when you played Inter. Inter has some big chances in the final, right? I think Lukaku missed a sitter, but you guys still got over the line. You still won it. Dortmund last season as well. They had a few good chances, but you guys still got get over the line. So like
yeah.
when you does that give you a bit of hope? When I know you've been playing poor this season, but apart from the league form, when you play in Champions League, when you get to this stage of the competition, you always seem to find a way, don't you, to really turn up?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And we've seen it like previously this season. Um, we would have shit games right before. Sorry if I can square.
No, of course you can. Yeah,
Swear.
so, yeah, no worries.
Uh, we will have shit games like right before our Champions League, games, and then you have Mbappe with the race against
Yeah,
City, Vinicius, and all of that. So that's the thing with us. It's so difficult to predict our Champions League games because we don't know. We don't know. It surprises us every time, and it honestly feels like our Champions League games usually go the same way. We suffer and then we win at the end with like some magic from Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Benzema, whoever it is. So it's it, literally impossible to predict them, and especially with the lineup that we're probably gonna play. With Valverde as a right
Mm.
back and
What's the lineup looking like from? Because I know you guys got some good news with Courtois being back in goal for you guys, right?
yes, that's the one thing that is
Yeah.
giving me some hope. Um, Valverde is probably gonna play right back
Okay.
because Vasquez is having such bad games. His performances this season have been
Mm.
terrible, and he's never really meant to be like a starter right back ever.
Yeah.
Not why we bought him, not why we trained him. He's usually
Mm.
that sub or like comes in for one game for a cup or something. So it will probably have to be Valverde, which means that we will miss him in the midfield, but also a little exposed because Valverde is still not a natural right back. And then on our left side, if we have Fran Garcia, then defensively we're all right. Offensively, he will waste a lot of chances. He likes to cross, and we don't have players that can receive crosses. In the midfield, it will absolutely be Jude Bellingham, and I'm probably expecting either Camavinga or Dominic to play as a DM with probably Modric in there just for the experience and like tell people to relax and Vinicius and and the front three will I think probably be Rodrigo, Mbappe, and
Mm.
Vinicius as we were expecting.
Yeah. I mean, when you say those three names,
Hmm.
that does scare me. I can't even lie with those names. And even if they're not cutting it, you got some good players who can come on. Like I'm a big fan of Brenham Diaz as well. I think
Mhm.
he's a really good player. Endrick as well, a more younger player, isn't he? That you guys signed who
Mhm.
can come off
18,
the
yeah.
bench. Got a lot of potential, got a bright future ahead of him. So you have a very, very good squad. And I know you suffer with
Mhm.
injuries as well. Like the centre backs you say is Rudiger and who will play alongside Rudiger, by the way?
Probably, hopefully, Asensio. He's been
Asensio.
in really good form. Not Asensio. That's in Villa. It's
The y-
Asensio.
yeah.
New that boy has been incredible this season and absolutely saved us. Because at one point we lost both Alaba, Vallejo, and Militao. We only
Wow.
had Rudiger, so we were basically forced to upgrade him to first team, uh, and he's done better than either of them probably
Wow.
could have,
There we go.
with, with the form they were in previously,
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
especially Alaba.
So obviously coming Emirates on Tuesday. And I know you said you're not playing that well this season, but how do you see the game going? And do you think you guys will pull off a win or a draw, or will Arsenal beat you? In your opinion?
I wouldn't be surprised with like a boring 1-1 or something like that.
Yeah, I said the same.
Honestly, like 1-1, maybe 2-1 if someone is feeling magical and fabulous, on the evening. But it's probably gonna be a boring game. I'm probably more excited for the second leg. It's always more spicy. What's gonna happen.
Yeah, second leg, of course, away as well. Like I think for
Hmm.
us, looking Arsenal fans looking into this game, it's more we have to get something to go to your ground and play you because if you beat us at Emirates, a lot of people are saying that's done. Like I know you've
Hmm.
been playing poor this season, but this is Arsenal's chance to get something now in this Emirates game. We're at home, the crowd's going to
Yeah.
be fired up for it. So we're going to need to get something, and if we don't, then it's going to be very hard task to go to your guys' ground and get something there.
Champions League as well. It will
Exactly.
be difficult for you guys, yeah. So for this game, I really wouldn't be surprised from like that, like trying, to like not just let's not fuck up now, Let's
Mm.
do, at least not be down a goal,
And I was listening to your manager Ancelotti, and he was saying that he knows how he's going to adjust his game because of how he knows how Arsenal can play attacking football, right? And a lot of teams, when they come to our stadium and they come to the Emirates, they play a thing called low block, which they just completely sit behind and just defend and let Arsenal have all possession. And we can't break that down. We find it very frustrating to
Mhm.
to break it down. And as Ancelotti said, they're gonna have to adjust their game because, and it could just be mind games for Ancelotti. Like I don't know how you guys obviously play in terms of, are you going to come all guns blazing and go for the game and it's going to be a really open game? But then I've
Yeah.
noticed in Europe, when we play against teams who play open to Arsenal, we get more chances and it's more end to end. Whereas teams who play, sort of a bit more defensive and counter attack, they get the joy against Arsenal.
Hmm.
How do you see, Ancelotti approaching the game? First leg Emirates, is he going to be a bit more cautious about Arsenal, or are you going to play similar to, like, I don't know how you guys do against Man City, where it's really open?
I think he will probably be a bit more cautious just because the form that the team is in right
Yeah.
now, and not be too ambitious with things. But in general, it really depends how you guys are playing. We are really like adaptable in that way, I would say, because when you probably seen it yourself in Champions League games where we've had games where we like absolutely suffer and defend the entire game, but we did that because we needed to, not because we wanted to. Oh, we're
Yeah.
gonna do this. Hey, hey, yeah, this is amazing for all of us. No, we did it because the other team forced us to, and we managed. So hopefully we manage tomorrow. I think that will probably be Ancelotti's idea as well, and that's why I say the second leg will probably be a bit more spicy because we get to see how you guys play. It won't be like the first leg, where you basically just feel the energy and how everything
Mm.
is happening around you. So I suspect us to have to maybe suffer a bit more than we do in the second leg, but we'll really see if this game runs away from us right now. I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
It's very possible that it could, because with this team, they've surprised me this season, and everything is possible. But I still hope for win and believe that we can do it because it's again Champions League.
It is Champions League, and for our perspective, we're coming into this game not feeling confident for a number of reasons, like the way we've been playing this season, the injuries we've got. But we have big respect for Real Madrid. We know that you guys are 15 times winners. You guys have that
Hmm.
heritage. You guys have that history. You're one of the biggest, if not the biggest club in world football. And you have history to show for that. And the team you have now, the manager you have now, what worries me is with Arteta, with our manager. Our manager hasn't proved himself on this big stage against these big managers yet. Every single time he's came up a big test. Like we played Bayern Munich last season against Thomas Tuchel. I think you guys met them in the semi-finals as well. But Thomas Tuchel took down Arteta, and we lost to that Bayern Munich side.
Yeah.
Even when we played in Europa League with Arteta, we played Sporting Lisbon. Ruben Almiron beat Arteta as well. So Arsenal's record in European football ever since we last beat you, I would say 2006, when we got to the final that season, when we was 15 minutes away from winning that against Barcelona, of course, and heartbreak for Arsenal. But ever
Look, I
since
would
that,
rather you wanted than them, if we're gonna be honest.
respect, of course, of course, of course. But ever since that 2006, Arsenal in European have been laughing stock. Teams laugh at us because we don't take it serious. We have not got that seriousness about us in terms of making it to the top. We've never won the competition, and that's what frustrates me the most. So this will be massive if we can beat you overall, because Arteta beats Ancelotti number one, and we actually take down, I say, one of the favourites. I know you've not been playing well this season, but you can never write off Real Madrid in Champions League.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we've seen it like this season with our previous games in Champions League. Terrible. Still won. And
Mm.
terrible. Like we lost to Leon, for example, and the whole reason that we weren't in the top eight, for someone of our stature, it's a bit embarrassing to not be in the top eight, and
Yeah.
finishing where we did in the league phase. So this season has been rocky, to say the least, in the Champions League. But I always believe I'm always, optimistic, especially about Champions League. I never write it off ever. I just still think there's possibilities. But
Yeah.
I always believe that it's gonna, go well. But if we're gonna talk about Ancelotti's track record with repeating trophies, it's not that great. So it's very difficult for him to go, back to back. That's another
True.
thing, to put out there,
When you
But
guys
I'm
had
still hoping.
the when you guys had Zidane, he won three in a row, didn't you? With you guys, three
Mhm.
Champions League in a row. What a
Mm.
manager for you guys.
What a manager, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that whole period with Ancelotti first, and then
Yeah.
Zinedine right after that
Zidane.
with
Yeah.
the
Mm.
with the three-peat, and then Ancelotti twice now. Like it's been pretty good.
Good
I
times.
cannot complain at all. Like I cannot complain.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, before we do get out of it, just, let's get a final score prediction from you, Doris. What are you going with? I've gone 1-1 draw personally for this game.
Um, the realist in me says 1-1. The optimist in me says 2-1 for us. To go our way. Just because again it's Champions League, so I never ever write my team off.
Yes.
League something different.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, Doris, if you want to quickly shout out, where people can find you as well, and the channel you
uh,
do as well.
yeah, absolutely. You can find us on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, wherever we do pre-game analysis earlier in the week and post-game analysis right after the match. I do watch-alongs. We have fan cams at the stadium. Whatever you want is on our channel. Give us a subscribe. Turn your notifications on. All that YouTube stuff that people say.
100%. Thank
And
you
thank
so
you for
much.
having me here. It's been a real
Nah, it's been
pleasure.
a pleasure. Yeah, and hopefully I can get you back on and we talk again for the second leg and see what happens there.
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, hopefully.
100%. But guys, thanks everyone who watched the video. Make sure if you guys leave your comments down below. Uh, the app will be where you can find Let's Be Real channel in the title. Very easy to do. You click the blue at, takes you right to the channel. Hit subscribe. Very easy to do, people. And Doris, may the best team win for tomorrow. And
Best team in, yeah.
thanks everyone who watched, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you, guys.